We're rolling with a NFL preseason episode of the other show. And just like other episodes of the other show, I invite a bunch of people in. It usually slims down to enough to fit the small setup. But it's perfect because I gave you guys some questions beforehand to spark debate, and you guys actually came in ready to play around the horn. So we should have some good topics and good takes coming up. And actually, for this preseason episode, as opposed to last year's, I hired Chat GBT to give me these questions, and they're so much better than anything I could come up with. So much better. And like I told you guys before we started filming, what's nuts is when I look at my Spotify, I'll randomly see days where like 10 people are watching like our NFL preseason from last year. It's not even relevant. They're just like listening to us talk. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely.
We have, as always, my sports analyst and coordinator, Silk Saunders, TJ Jacob from Jacob and Sons Meats, and Robert Vargo of Vargo's Cargo Moving Services. I'll run both these ads in the mid-roll so you can learn more about these local businesses. All right. We ready to tackle the first question that ChatGPT came up with for 2024 season of the NFL? Was there an extra game this season? Did they add another
I
one?
don't think so. No, there's still.
Last year, how many years ago?
There's still 17.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there's still 17.
Somebody told me that are you going to mention it?
They were talking about
Okay.
it, adding like an extra game and then giving everybody like an extra bye or something, but I don't know if that might be a couple seasons down the road.
Before we do Chat GPT's questions, I'll just get you guys to put in a take right now, put it in concrete for this upcoming first game on Thursday. Who do you got?
Oh,
Was it Ravens?
Ravens Chiefs.
Ravens Chiefs.
Oh,
Who do you see taking that?
I'm I'll go Ravens. I'm gonna go Ravens. Yeah, I'll go Ravens. They need
to the division.
They need a bounce back. I don't know. Chiefs. Even Chiefs are starting to get, in my mind, like the freaking Brady Patriots, where no matter what they do in the regular season, they'll make the playoffs, and you got to beat them to get to the Super Bowl. Because it's last year they didn't look very good. At least I didn't think, and they were struggling to get to the playoffs, or not struggling to get to the playoffs, but they didn't look the best. And then they make the playoffs and they beat three really good teams and beat the Niners. So I don't know. I think the Ravens, because the Chiefs beat the Ravens in the playoff last year. They might come back and want like a little redemption thing. So I'll give it to the Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens.
I think I'll have to agree. I think the Chiefs are going to start slow, but that doesn't mean they're not going to get better as the year goes on.
And their division's horrible.
Yeah. I still think they win their division, but I think they might start slow. Little hangover, Super Bowl hangover.
I'll take the Ravens as well. I don't see them making the same mistakes that they made in that AFC Championship game I don't think Derrick Henry's only going to get 3-4 touches.
Yeah.
And Kansas City, they got that new receiver group over there now. Although what's good, I think Hollywood Brown's dinged up still.
Yeah.
They still got to work in that receiver group, get some cohesion with Patrick Mahomes. So I think week one's going to be a slow start for him.
Is that one receiver still in trouble?
Nah, he didn't end up getting
in trouble. I am interested to see what the Ravens offense looks like with Derrick Henry though. That could be if he gets rolling, that could be a scary combo. Like a zone read with him and Lamar. That might be tough. That might be tough to stop.
I think Lamar slimmed down to like 15 pounds in this offseason too.
So, okay, so he could be flying around.
It's even more dangerous.
All right, so we'll start into these Chat GBT questions. I have to stop calling them that. Because originally, what my plan was to have like an around the horn style, where if somebody made a good point, that'll be a point. We were going to have somebody behind the curtain. But what I'm going to do is I have time to edit this. I'll do it myself. So when you guys are listening back to this episode, you hear a little ding. That's a little point. I'll have it all. So I will encourage like good takes and good discussion. So the first one that came up on this list was, what team do you think is going to have the highest breakout season? Team that's going to surprise everybody this year.
Surprise team. Let's see.
Is it the Browns?
No. No. Gosh, no, I wish it was, but I don't think so. I don't know if there'll be like a surprise team. I think Houston could take a step. They picked up a lot of good free agents. They got more weapons for Stroud. Stroud's going to his second year. They got a couple of defensive guys. And they were a young team last year with a rookie head coach. And they made the playoffs, won their division. so that everybody getting more experience. They got a little older, more weapons. So I think they could take a step. I don't know if they're really a surprise team though.
Right.
Yeah, they got two receivers that had over 1,000 yards last year. So.
Yeah. Like the Eagles aren't really a surprise. I was
Diggs
talking to
and
TJ coming over.
Collins.
I could see the Rams maybe making some noise if Stafford gets back and healthy. He's got Cooper Kupp still in Nakua. The Kyron Williams running back ran well last year, and they still have a pretty solid defense. I think they could maybe be a team that no one really has talked about or kind of push off. That could, I don't know if they'd be like a Super Bowl contender, but maybe could make a run and make a playoff spot or win a game in the playoffs or something.
Make
I
some
could see
noise.
that could be a team.
I'll go with the Bears.
Bears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are talking about them, but you get Caleb Williams.
He's got a lot of weapons.
Yeah, they got DeAndre Swift and Khalil Herbert at running back, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, Roman Dunze at wide out, and Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett at tight end. That's a lot of
That's a lot
That's
of
a lot of
weapons.
dudes.
That's a lot of weapons.
Who would be the dominating team in that division? NFC North.
Well, I would say the Vikings are probably out. They just lost McCarthy, who was supposed to be a starter. He's done for the year. Lions and Packers were both playoff teams last year, and theirs should be good. And Bears kind of like they're kind of the wild card team because you don't the rookie quarterback you don't really know.
Yeah.
I could see maybe the another team would be the Falcons.
Well, we gotta let somebody else get a take. We gotta let somebody else take
Let's still go. Let's still go.
I needed
you
somebody
guys
to
get 'em
soundboard
off
go. I need a soundboard like or something. So who do you have breaking out this year, Phil?
My surprise team would be the Tennessee Titans. I think their offseason acquisitions were A+ grade. They got better defensively. They got better offensively. And they were one of those teams that were kind of on the cusp last year. They lost a lot of close games. And I just think that they checked off all the boxes this year as far as improving their team and competing in that AFC South. It's going to be tough with the Texans. And the Colts should be a surprising team as well if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy.
Yeah, he's
All right, question 2 I had was who is the rookie with the biggest impact to his team going into the season?
I guess for me, one guy. Usually, I feel like most people will say like a quarterback, so I won't say a quarterback. I'm gonna go with Keon Coleman for the Bills. Bills lost their top 2 wideouts from last year, so they don't really have. I feel like he might be their number 1 wideout if he's not, and he's a big target. He's like 6'4", runs well, and he's got one heck of a quarterback. Josh Allen, he can make all the throws and everything. He just has a little turnover tendency. But for the Bills, it's pretty much all on Josh Allen this year. So he's going to need some help. He's got good tight ends. But I feel like Keon Coleman could be that guy that comes in and has a absolutely huge rookie year. Not really out of nowhere, but because he's their only real option outside. So I would say him. I would go with Keon Coleman.
Because he almost like has to be that guy.
He almost has to be that guy. He's kind of thrown into the fire.
Is anybody different?
I got a couple guys. I'll go Marvin Harrison.
Kind of the same situation.
Oh, that's right.
there.
Yeah, this is his first year. I thought for some reason he was in the league last year. That's right.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. But Blenikoff winner and 14 touchdowns the last 2 seasons, over 1,000 yards. So, I mean, he has something to prove. He's the first wideout taken. So, and I like Kyler Murray too. I think he'll be able to give him the ball. I think he's somebody to watch, rookie to watch.
Do you have anybody different than?
As these guys alluded to in the previous topic, the Bears and Caleb Williams, I think him, as long as he can efficiently play, don't turn the ball over, can move that offense and not go 3 and out consistently, I think that Bears team will do pretty well and be able to compete again sneak into the playoffs this year. So I think Caleb Williams would be my pick for a rookie who will have the biggest impact, whether it be negative or positive on the year for his team.
All right. We'll start with Silk on this one. We'll go back this way, right?
It works.
Speaking of the first one, in case somebody has a different take. Most likely a candidate for this season's MVP.
We'll go Lamar Jackson. We spoke about him slimming down. I think he has a chip on his shoulder after last year. He has the most offensive weapons that he's had in his whole career this year. And I just think that he's going to be a threat as far as the run game goes and the pass game goes. It's going to be tough to stop them guys this year.
Who you got?
Me?
Either one.
No, you can go.
Either one of you meet guys.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
I'll go. It's a quarterback. There's no other position that's gonna win it. I don't
Yeah.
think the last one was in 2012 with Adrian Peterson, but
Dang, that's that long.
12 years.
so I'll go C.J. Stroud.
Stroud, yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing you got to worry about is the O-line staying healthy, but he's got plenty of weapons around him that I don't think you're gonna be able to stop that offense.
That's
Honestly,
gonna be tough.
Joe Mixon and Davian Pierce in the backfield, and then
He exceeded everybody's expectations as a rookie too.
Yeah.
Stroud.
Yeah. I'll go. I guess I'll go Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
I think Joe Burrow might finally. He's coming off an injury. He's still got one of the top, probably 5 wideouts in football. He's got a couple other weapons, and he's always been on that cusp, but he never could stay healthy. I think this might be the year he can finally put it together. They lost Joe Mixon, so they might be a more pass-heavy team, which will make his numbers look better. But I think the one thing that's tough about him is, like, Lamar has the rushing side. He can get a bunch of stats rushing. Joe Burrow, he's not really a runner, and he's playing
That threat.
in a really good division. So if you're on a 9-8 team, you're not going to win the MVP. But I'll go Joe Burrow. I think he could make a bounce back year and finally take that step and get one.
Yeah. You just got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
He was out for a while this past year. wasn't
Yeah.
he? Okay. Next question. What we'll do is I'll have that AI woman's voice go over this voice to ask the question. That'd be fine. Let's see. Which player is most primed for a bounce back year? And that could be the answer to your
I was going to
this
say,
last question.
I'll just say, being nice, I'll just go Joe
Yeah,
Burrow
Joe
again.
Burrow.
I think he'll have a pretty good bounce back year. So I'll just stick with Joe Burrow for same reasons as MVP.
me.
Yeah.
I'll go Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You can't really be wrong. It's just if you're just like I don't know, then it's good. That's the only reason. That's the only way you can't really.
Played five snaps last year,
Yeah.
and I mean as long as he still has it, it's pretty.
Yeah, he always has the arm count.
Pretty much a lock. As long as they do well as a team, that's pretty much a lock. If you're gonna.
Yeah.
Now last year we got a lot of props to the Jets going into the season.
We did. We had him, I think we had him in our
On the
Final
standings,
Four,
yeah.
and that ended really quick. So
I remember after like week 2, Cusic's like, you realize that whole graph is shattered.
I'm going to go with Deshaun Watson.
Watson.
Oh, please,
I don't think
please,
that. I think he got hurt early last year, and he was trying to get his feet under him from being out 2 years. I would say that this last offseason probably did him some good, get his head together up there. He's got a great team around him, great defense. All he has to do is just like with Caleb Williams, just move the ball, be efficient, and I mean he's a MVP caliber quarterback. So I mean there's a lot of people down and out on him right now. I just think that this could probably be his year to spin it around.
I agree.
Coach that is under the most pressure to succeed this year.
I'll take this one first too.
Yeah.
I got to think about this one.
Just like every year's Mike McCarthy. Every year we're talking about Dallas. Dallas Cowboys are always the hot topic. If they don't do well in the playoffs, they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, the NFC East, it's them and Philly.
Yeah.
If they don't bode well in the playoffs, you can best believe that there's going to be some should we move Mike McCarthy talk at the end of the year. So I think he's win or lose, pressure's on Mike McCarthy this year.
I think with Jerry, you're always on the hot seat.
Yeah.
They have this NFL rankings of the coach hot seat is Mike McCarthy at number 1.
Good call.
Well, I guess I'll go second or next because mine was number 2.
Nick
Nick
Sirianni.
Sirianni. Just the way that their season ended last year, they were like what 10-1 or something.
Yeah.
They lost
The last
5,
Yeah.
and you have you lost Kelsey at center. He's a big staple on the O line, but you got pretty much everyone back. Your defense is healthy now. Jalen Hurts, they said, was a little dinged up, so that may be why. But you got 2 of the best wideouts, or like probably tandem. You got Hurts, and you added Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
So you got all the talent in the world. And like Silk said, it's pretty much just them and Dallas in the NFC East.
Yeah.
So it's like they should make the playoffs. So if they sputter or not have a good year, he was on the hot seat to end last year. So if they have a bad one again this year, he might be be on the can.
I had Sean McDermott. I mean they've been close for what? How many years? 5,
like
4 years. And I know they just lost their top 2 wideouts, but you still have Josh Allen. Right?
Yeah.
He still has two good tight ends, and they added Rob's rookie to look out for, Coleman. So, I mean, you got to think if they're not at least close again, he might be on his way out because you can't waste Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's a special talent. You can't waste that.
Yeah, Sean more of like not like he's in a fast downward trend. They want something to happen.
You gotta have results.
Yeah.
I think he's a good coach, but he just got to get over the hump.
And usually that humps Kansas City for them.
That's
but,
true. Playing Patrick Mahomes doesn't help. But. I'll throw Ryan Day in there too for
college.
College.
Yeah, if they don't beat if he don't
I mean,
beat
this is the most talent Ohio State's had maybe ever, right?
If he doesn't beat
all the
Michigan,
guys
he's
that
going
came
on.
back, all the wideouts they have.
I don't care if they go 11-1. If they lose to Michigan, Ryan Day's going to go. It's going to be bad.
Now, is Harbaugh in Michigan?
He's with the Chargers now.
That's right.
Yeah, he went to the pros.
Who they bring in? Michigan.
They just hired their OC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our new sponsor, Rich Investments Group. Rich Investments Group is a real estate investment firm with a mission of providing quality housing for our community. Rich Investments Group proudly offers a rent-to-own program, assisting tenants to one day become homeowners themselves. Veterans are urged to reach out to them so they can support them in finding their dream home. All right. Biggest off-season move, in your opinion? It's going to have the biggest impact on the league or on their team.
I'll just go Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. I think because the NFC South is arguably possibly the worst division in football. You got the Panthers who aren't great. You got Saints who aren't great, and you have Tampa who's down. I think Atlanta's got good young wideouts with Drake London. They got Bijan Robinson, who's a heck of a young running back. They got a solid defense, and Kirk isn't like the top of the line quarterback, but he's got a lot of experience. He usually has pretty good years, and I think they're not going to go win the Super Bowl or anything, but I think that could be a turnaround for that franchise.
Yeah.
Could get them back in the playoffs and maybe get the momentum going for them again, see something different.
I'll talk about your Brownies. I like the Jerry Jeudy trade. You got Amari as your number one, and I think Jeudy will take a little pressure off of Deshaun.
Another good weapon.
Yeah, make his life a little bit easier, and that's what he needs. Get a little confidence going into the season.
We still have Njoku.
Yeah, still going
hell
Joker too.
yeah. So he can catch more medicine balls. Man, what's his face? don't even know his name. What was that last quarterback?
Flacco.
No, for Browns. No, before him.
Um,
Mayfield.
Oh, Baker.
When he took out Njoku for like 2 or 3 months with that medicine
Oh,
ball
yeah.
catch like 2 seasons ago. I'm like, why is he still there?
I got a couple of them actually. I actually got 3. My first one,
That's 3 points right there.
my first one, I'm gonna go with Stephon Diggs to the Texans.
That's a big
Adding to that receiver core with C.J. Stroud, toting the pill is something serious. My second and third are 2A, 2B. Both of them would be Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Steelers aren't paying out much of anything for both of those guys, and they're both franchise quarterbacks. That's a steal of the year to me.
Yeah.
If we can get, we just need production out of Russell Wilson, and we'll be just fine with that defense. The same thing. Just manage the game. Just don't turn the ball over. Let's not go 3 and out, consistently, and that defense will take care of us.
And this is their first year with this new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's from Arthur Smith, the head coach of the Falcons.
I'm so glad Matt Canada's gone. I'm tired of watching that shit.
I also think the addition of Arthur Smith will be awesome for Najee's career. I know a lot of people were down and out on him, especially Pittsburgh fans, but he's been productive. He's had 3-4 years with 1,000 yards. Like, he's productive. He's quietly productive, but I think this year will be his breakout year to where you're seeing him hitting the hole, actually having holes to hit.
Yeah.
And we have three backs that can take it the whole way down with adding Cordell Patterson.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see our run game this year.
I really like Jalen Warren, too.
I like he runs hard.
That's coming from a Browns fan. I like the way that kid plays.
Yeah, he plays tough.
Yeah.
Biggest injury concern of a player going into this season?
I'm going to say, I don't know if he's injured, but I'm going to go Deshaun Watson. Because he had that shoulder thing last year. I've been keeping up, and there's rumors that, like, there's a couple days of practice he won't go. He has, like, shoulder tightness and stuff like that. And it's like, with an injury like that, who knows if it's, like, lingering and stuff like that. And like Silk said, this could be his year. He's got the weapons.
It has to be his year.
Well, I guess I'll put another 1B would be Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
for the Browns as well. Is he going to be able to make it back? Because he completely changes that offense if he comes back. So they said he's rumored to come back. Not sure when, but I guess I'll go Watson and Chubb for the Browns because if they're both healthy,
that's not the NFL's biggest injury concerns. That's
my
biggest
biggest injury concerns. Because if they're healthy and they're both playing well, the Browns are a tough team. But if Chubb doesn't come back or isn't on pace, and Watson his shoulders all bothering him again. They could be one of the, because they're in such a tough division, they could finish towards the bottom and have a really rough year. So I'll go with them too, because the whole season pretty much rides on those two guys there.
Yeah.
I'll go with Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to be the key to the Colts competing in the AFC South. It's going to be a tough division this year. If he can stay healthy, if he can, stick it out through the year, I think it's going to be a very tough race coming down in the AFC South.
I'll go Matt Milano. He's a linebacker for the Bills. I saw it was a bicep. I don't know how bad it is, but
it says here
for most of the season.
Yeah, so when you lose your middle linebacker like that, that's like the quarterback of your defense.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to throw him off a little bit. Hopefully he's back quick. Because I like watching him play. But, I think that'll hurt pretty bad on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, and the final question I had is team with the biggest potential for a downward swing this season.
A downward swing.
Who's going to have the longest fall from the top this year?
There's always one team that does it.
as much as Scott is hoping and praying it's the Chiefs. I don't think this is.
Yeah, until you can beat them.
It's so funny. Like everybody says, like the Chiefs are like that new like Patriots
Yeah.
dynasty, and Scott, who's a fan of Patriots dynasty, is the one that's like, I hate everything about it.
Patriots. The fall is tough.
Is there any like top teams right now from last year that
I mean,
lost a lot of their players?
I could
or-
see the Bills. I feel like that could be an easy answer. The Bills they lost all their weapons. They're young on the outside, and they were a tough team, so they could definitely fall.
Yeah, their safety.
Yeah,
lost,
and you just
to the
said Matt
Dolphins.
Milano got hurt. They lost to safety.
Uh,
Let's see, another one could maybe be. I could see maybe Dallas. As much as like that division isn't great, but they lost Tony Pollard, so the running back, and they got Zeke back, but that, and then they had that big issue with CeeDee Lamb, and then I saw Deron Bland, their starting corners, out for like 8 weeks, and they lost Tyron Smith, so they lost some people from injury and lost a lot in free agency, and they didn't get too much in return, so
Yeah.
maybe them, but they're in a not a great division, so that might be, but I don't know that. I mean, I don't really. I would probably just say the easy answer for me would be the Bills. Would be the one team that could really, because they got the Dolphins and the Jets to compete with. So I'll go Bills.
That's who. That was gonna be my answer. The Bills. Josh Allen turns the ball over at an unreal clip,
Yeah.
and losing his top 2 targets. That's probably gonna be tough to bounce back from. I want to say that Cook was hurt, or maybe he was dinged up a little bit.
Yeah.
My pick would be the Bills. Maybe getting around that 500, maybe 9-8, just around that area.
I mean, my picks weren't great last year, but I think they might be a little worse off this year. Like the Vikings, I had them. They lost. You never know how good a rookie QB is going to be coming in with J.J. McCarthy, but he's done for the season. You got Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I mean,
who knows?
he hasn't panned out yet, but we'll see.
Give it another shot, I guess.
And then I had the Raiders on there. I think their defense will be good. They got Crosby, and I think they added another guy on the D line. But Gardner Minshew, I think he's a good backup QB, but I don't think he's the
man for that.
no. Those would be mine too. And Devontae Adams missed a lot of training camp, where you get used to
I feel like
timing with your quarterback.
I feel like he's kind of getting fed up. I think Devontae. He's used to winning.
Did you guys already do your fantasy drafts? Do you have like
We have
your
one.
guy, or
Ours
I don't want you to
like this. Ours is coming this week. So.
Okay, I
I
want to
ain't
see
giving no
your
spoilers.
slip.
Wednesday.
So I don't know. I feel like there's the NFC. There's like a couple dominant teams, but the AFC I think is loaded.
Yeah,
it could go like AFC North. It's a bloodbath. Any 4 of those could win it. Any 4 of them could finish last, I think.
I'm a Steelers fan. I'm worried about the Steelers this year. They got the 3rd hardest strength of schedule. And we don't really know. I mean,
Which quarterback?
Wilson's starting obviously now,
Yeah.
but we'll see how he does throughout the season.
You
You
know,
can always count on the defense.
yeah, defense can be good.
I think it'll be good. He'll probably finish the season as QB1 unless he gets hurt.
As a Pittsburgh fan, how do you feel about the whole situation with Russell coming in, Pickett going out, and bringing in Fields?
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I was gonna say, I mean-
adding those 2 guys, they got them for next to nothing. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. But obviously, Kenny Pickett wasn't the guy. So
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson, I mean, his numbers competed with Patrick Mahomes' numbers last year quietly.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get that kind of production in Pittsburgh, I mean, with our defense.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Pittsburgh has a division?
absolutely not.
No.
I mean, I think they could win it, but I don't.
Yeah,
You can't say it's a lock.
Yeah, with that the Ravens.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
I
mean, and the
Ravens,
Bengals.
Ravens,
Yeah.
Bengals.
and Browns.
Yeah, don't throw the Browns out.
They're all. I mean, they're all
them
good
out.
teams. They're all good teams.
Yeah.
I think the Browns are my sleeper pick this year. If they can win tough games until Nick Chubb gets back.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb coming back in the cold months, coming down that November, December stretch into the playoffs. That it's going to be tough to beat the Browns with the defense that they have and the weapons that they acquired on at receiver.
We still got Garrett.
So got Garrett. We pretty much got most of our defense back, and we added offensive weapons. I just hope this. We paid Deshaun Watson way too much money. He's got to produce something at some point.
Who'd you get a linebacker? Who's the linebacker?
I forget what his name was. He's a pretty decent linebacker though.
I want Talkie back.
I'm still
Browns.
mad. I'm still mad. Pittsburgh got that freaking
Peyton
Wilson
And Patrick Queen.
I wanted
two-headed
Peyton
monster.
Wilson.
scary,
I wanted
dude.
them to draft Peyton Wilson so freaking bad. Devin Bush. Oh gosh, there's a Pittsburgh Steeler from the past you guys loved.
You said linebacker.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Okay.
Devin Bush. He did have a pretty good year last year, so and he can fly. So hopefully Cleveland's a fresh start for him.
So we'll end this episode kind of like how we did last year's. How about you guys give me the top 2 of AFC, top 2 NFC that you could see being in the championship game?
So the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you had to pick.
NFC, I will go.
Teams up again.
I'm gonna go Lions, Eagles in the NFC. I think Niners they're still loaded, but they had a lot of off-season drama this year. McCaffrey and a bunch of those guys have had injury problems in the past, but they've been fairly healthy, and it's tough to be that good year after year. And I think the Eagles made some good moves. Lions are young and they're hungry, so I would say I'm gonna go Lions and Eagles in the NFC. AFC, I'm gonna go rematch of last year, Chiefs Ravens.
I'll switch it up a little bit, but NFC, I'm gonna go. I'll go Niners, and then I'll go Lions.
Niners, Lions.
Niners and Lions. Switch it
Yeah.
up. Okay.
I think the Niners are still hungry. They still have the dudes. I mean, the defense is still good. The offense is obviously still good. So I'll go with them, and then the Lions. I like Dan Campbell. I like what he's doing. Jared Goff had a really good year last year. St. Brown, their wideout, really good. Plays hard. Sam Laporta, their tight
They
end,
got
really
weapons
good.
everywhere.
I mean, I think they got a chance to win it all.
They
honestly.
got plenty of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And then AFC.
I think the AFC is tough. I mean,
Would you agree? You three agree that the AFC is kind of the stronger
yeah,
Yeah,
I would say the AFC.
I'll switch it out. I'll go Texans,
Texans?
Chiefs.
Texans, Chiefs.
I like the. We've been talking about the Texans all day, but I like
Yeah.
them. And then the Chiefs are.
Oh, yeah, all the
I'm
obvious.
gonna pick them until they
Yeah.
they're not there anymore.
Yeah, right.
For me, I'm gonna go San Fran and Eagles. The NFC is gonna have to show me they can stop San Fran.
Yeah.
They've been rolling them several years now. The Eagles, I like their offseason acquisitions. They just added a third receiver who's unreal. They added Saquon Barkley, and the defense always shows up. For the AFC, I'm gonna go with the Browns versus the Ravens in the AFC Championship game.
Oh, okay.
I'll be on the edge of my seat for that one.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's snowing, one of those snow games. But I just think those two coming out of the AFC North, they're going to be battle tested all year round. When it comes down to December and January, or not December, but when it comes down to January and those cold months, I just think that it's time for the Ravens and the Browns, just that tough nose. Let's go hit people. Let's go put pads on people. I think it's time for that kind of football to come out of the AFC this year.
I'm just afraid I'd get let down so hard.
Yeah, usually it's like these picks usually are either just get shot to hell or like look good after the first week.
Yeah.
Because like all the picks, like especially Browns, if one injury,
Yeah.
or like a lot of teams, one injury, especially Burrow or
Or something like that. Who was the third receiver the Eagles added?
Jahan Dotson
Oh,
from
goodness.
the Commanders.
Yeah, he's a really good number 3.
Switching to college real quick. Who do you have for the national championship game this year? Who you guys? Ohio State, is Ryan Day going to?
That's mine.
I would love to say Ohio State.
He will pick up the helm that Tressel dropped. Or, what's his face?
I mean, after
Urban.
week 1, after week, I would have after watching week 1, I would have to go. In my opinion, I know it's week 1, but the most complete team that I saw was Texas.
Texas.
And I know Silk's wearing all Texas, but I would after week 1, Texas looked really good, and they're gonna be battle tested through the SEC, which I think helps a team like Texas this year because they might lose 1 or 2 games and then pass in 14 playoffs. That might keep them out.
Yeah.
But this year they might not win the conference. They might be like a 5-6 seed, but they're with quarterback like that, and they look good. I think they could be a team that could make some noise.
I think you were telling me like their own combine numbers, they were blowing a lot of schools out of the water.
It was a Texas NFL combine.
Yeah.
College is going to be hard. It's going to be hard with the new playoff scheme and where people get seeded and who's going to play who. And
I feel like that's a big thing. The seeding and the matchups could be a big role.
'cause I thought they were doing something funky with it too. Like there's the first 4 or 5 seeds or whatever get buys but no home game.
Yeah, like 5, 6, 7, 8 get a home game against what would be the 9, 10, 11, 12, and the first 4 get a bye.
But no home.
But they don't get a home game.
Yeah.
So they're like the neutral site games after that. So it's kind of. But.
Oh shit! It's going to be tough. I like the way Alabama looked. I think that Milroe. I think he's got that chip on his shoulder this year. He's going to play good ball all year. Old Miss looked unreal. But I mean, it's week 1. They're not playing competition, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign. And Ohio State, Texas, Georgia. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of those guys. I wasn't too impressed with Oregon, but we'll see how that Ohio State versus Oregon game. That's going to tell me what I need to know about both of those teams.
I agree.
So to me, I think it's a little too early in the year, especially with that playoff and all that. There's a lot of factors going into it. But I wouldn't mind if Vargo's pick like that.
I was gonna say if you come in dressed like that and picking anything else.
Because it's weird. Because like after week 1, Florida State got beat. Miami looked good, but like the ACC, their top 2 teams, Clemson and Florida State, did not look good and they got beat. But
We'll see how they bounce back.
they could bounce back. But it's weird because if they win their conference, they could be ranked they could have 3 losses and be ranked like 14th, but they still get that 4 seed. So that could throw a big wrench in the seeding, and somebody that's like a 5 seed, they could get the 12 seed, and then they get a team that's not usually a top 4. They could walk into the semifinals. If there's a couple upsets somewhere else, that could be I feel like matchups are huge this year when it comes to the playoff.
Yeah, that is true. When if a certain conference is down that year, it's gonna throw a big wrench into it.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame looked pretty good too.
They look pretty good because Texas A&M. I mean, I don't know how good Texas A&M is, but week 1 going on the road playing there, that's a tough.
I couldn't imagine
win.
being in that stadium. Like they kept cutting to it, and they had like the little 12 man banner going on. You see the whole stadium rocking.
That place is going
They're singing.
nuts.
They're going crazy. tough atmosphere to play in.
Yeah.
Going on the road too, though. Talking about Penn State going down to Morgantown.
And you know they were fired
Taking care
up.
of
Old Pat
business.
McAfee was drunk all week.
That impressed me. I thought it'd at least be a little bit closer.
I
than
did
that.
think it'd be closer.
It's so funny because we have so many people like on Facebook and social media that are like go to Morgantown WVU fans, and I saw somebody put the other day, it's like, man, I have so many WVU fans getting fired up to lose by 30.
I thought they would have had a shot to win the Big 12.
I mean,
Honestly,
they could bounce back because Big 12 did lose their top two team, usually
Yeah.
Texas and
Right.
Oklahoma, but
but I would have liked to seen that game closer if they're
Yeah.
gonna.
do any make any noise.
Yeah,
All right,
well
guys,
done.
we hit that 45 mark just perfectly.
Nice.
But yeah, thank you guys for coming in. This has been the NFL 2024 season
Yeah.
preseason episode, so you guys don't have to watch the 2023 anymore. Whoever's doing that. And thank you to friends coming in. Thank you for the local sponsors coming in. I'll run your guys' ads mid-roll. We have new T-shirts out.
Oh, nice.
I printed them out. I'm actually just going to give them away to friends and supporters of the show first, so they're not for sale. I'm just letting you know the T-shirts out. The next time I get to some more. And 2x4s, October 25th at Waterfront Hall.
Ooh.
We just booked it.
October
All right,
25th.
guys.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
So my plan now is to, like, say next Sunday or in 2 weeks, get Scott to pick out 3 of his buddies to come in and have another panel. Then I'll find out who I think won't mesh well with each other, and then invite them in. I want to have everybody's pictures on the wall with like string attached to it.